Sunday, August 19th. Happy birthday to my sister. Didn't do anything for the last couple days. I go, and then I hit a wall. And I try not to, but what can you do? I slept from off and on because of my hand, of course. It was very painful last night. I slept from 6 p.m. until 1 o'clock this afternoon. And like I said, off and on. I was up for maybe 15 minutes here and there. Just in a lot of pain. But I feel better today. Doesn't look like it, but I do. No motivation, but I'm trying. I have to do some notepads for my friend Jan, and I'll show you how I do those. Okay, so today's project is making notepads, and I'm doing this for my friend Jan, who's starting a new sector of business for Artsy. Artsy is a rehabilitation center for adults who have suffered from strokes and other illnesses, and she is a kinesiologist, and she's now taking the show on the road. It's called the Safe Zone, and it is healthy living, healthy aging. Alright, so we have Jan's notepads ready to be cut, and this one, there's 6 on a page, and I'll be cutting those up. And then these ones, there's 4 on a page, just makes the notepad a little bit bigger. And I'm just giving a variety. Here is my cutter. It cuts up to 300 pages at once. And yes, it was very expensive, but I find it very helpful for all the projects I do. So I printed a template so I can tell where I have to cut. It just makes it a little easier. So it just has a clamp here, and clamp it down tight. And unfortunately I gotta use a lot of force for this one. And this is different than other cutting blades where they actually, this cuts straight down on the paper and makes it a clean cut. Awesome. And I always put a scrap piece of paper on the top for when I glue them, and also my paper cutter here kind of leaves a little bit of grease on it for some reason. I'm not sure why. And when I do notepads, I always create the template with a border on the inside, so I know that I'm going to have enough space on each side without running into problems when I cut it. This is one of my favorite toys. So there we have the notepads ready to be glued, and just got to make sure that they're all lined up the right way, because we just glue the one side. So each one has a cardboard backing. You can make them into magnetic notepads, or just keep them like this for the desk. Pads for stocking stuffers, for anybody that has, you know, a lot of kids are named differently these days. And if you can't find your kid's name on something, well, you can get a notepad specially made for them. Medley, why are you always sitting on my stuff? You have to give your seal of approval for everything I make? Medley, say hi. You hungry? So now I have them in equal piles. So I just bang them to try and get all the paper in the same area, so it's perfect. Cats don't really like this much. So I have a small set of clamps that basically all I ever use it for is notepads. One day I'm going to build something to hold the notepads properly, so I don't have to keep doing it this way. I'm always coming up with a new idea. And I just squeeze them tight, and you can set it up on here. And now I'm just going to paint this with a special glue. So I actually used to work in London at a sign company called Speed Pro back in like 1992. Yeah, something like that. Anyways, we used to make notepads for there, and that's how I learned how to do this. So, let's give this a stir. This is special notepad glue. It adheres to the paper, but lets them be peeled off. Well, you know how a notepad works. There's no special way of doing this, just coat all the edges. Oh, of course I got glue on the table. Oops, more glue. Usually once in a while, I always make a mess. Notepads are really one of my favorite things to do. And yet, it still takes me a long time. So, just gonna seal this up, and I just wash the paintbrush in water. Glue comes right out, and I can use it the next time. So now we have a whole stack of notepads, all in one, and you just go to the cardboard at the bottom and cut them apart. And then we tear that off, fix up anything that's not supposed to be there. No, okay, that's not the best one. Take one apart, piece of paper off, and there we have it. Notepad of 31 pages. Done.
Everybody wants a piece of me. Can't they see I am just fine on my own? Everybody's trying to change me, but I am happy just being